It's Mike Jones and iHeartRadio here at the Adjacent Festival. Let's segue into this new album you just put out, Tilt at the Wind No More.
You got it.
Very fine record, sir. A lot of fun songs in there, a lot of Andrew McMahon sing-alongs like we love from you, but also you got deep and existential on us.
Yeah, you know, I think because this period of making this record sort of fell like right at the moment where I tipped over into, you know, having spent more than half of my life on stage and making records. I knew it was going to come out in my 40th year. Yes, I'm 40 now. And so I wanted to reflect. I wanted to make a record that sort of imported some of those experiences that I've sort of had along the way and figure out what the path forward was.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, you can't feel 40 right now. Not looking this good, baby.
I feel like 80. Exactly. Actually,
some days you wake up, you're like, why does my back hurt? I did nothing to do this.
Yeah. Well, this is my 8th show in a row today, so I'm definitely pushing the limits.
I saw that you had you were out with the Unlikely Candidates for a bit too.
Yeah.
Love those boys.
Great guys.
You had some. I saw you had some partying going on the last night of that tour too. So probably feeling it a little bit, but that's okay.
No. I'm well hydrated and life is good. Yeah.
Also, I mean, along with the new album, not too long ago, and this was the last time I got to see you. It was right when we were going back to shows. You did the Three Pianos book and the tour and everything, dude. Really cool reflection on the different stages of life. Because man, you've had one heck of a ride, Andrew McMahon. Like we all know this. We know the story with everything.
Yeah,
but to do that musically and with the book and storytelling on stage, I love that.
Thank you. Yeah, it was obviously a weird time to be on the road, you know, and you could feel some of the tension in those crowds because it was like, you know, some places mandated masks, some places didn't, some people were pissed about this, you know, it was like there was a little bit of that going on, but I felt like to be back out, especially at that moment, and to be playing songs and to do like, I think a nostalgic kind of deep dive on, you know, what music has meant to me, but also how it related to the book that I wrote. You know, it was a cool moment, but I won't lie, it's nice to be back out, like full on
doing what you should be
rock
doing,
band style. Yeah,
full on doing your thing. Was it intimidating writing a book?
Yeah,
it
was super hard. I mean, I think if I had known how hard it would be, I probably wouldn't have signed up to do it. But once you start, you can't stop. So it was 6 to 8 hours a day, just like plugging in and you know, it was like doing therapy. You know, you really had to like excavate these memories and figure out a way to talk about them. And I think for me, use the book as a way to make peace with some of the harder things that you know I've gone through in my life. And it was a good process, but it was hard. And
along with that 6 to 8 hours of writing, you want to still play your piano and do music and do all of that, dude. So that's
I didn't. I retired the piano for like a year and a half.
Really?
I wrote one song the year that I wrote the book. Yeah.
Did you play for fun at all? I mean, like keeping up your chops or anything?
Like almost not at all.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it was weird. I felt like to properly do the book, I had to assume the role of like, I'm an author. And
this is my job now.
Exactly. Like it became like you know, like, I don't want to say a costume, but it became like a thing I had to wear every morning when I woke up. And it was like, no, you're not. You know, I was writing about writing music in a lot of cases, but it was almost like I had to kind of put it over there for a second. There was a moment I wrote a song called New Year's Song, which I really love, that was like kind of right as we tipped over it from 2020 to 21. And it was like just after that first year of the pandemic and how gnarly it was. And I was the first time I was like, this isn't a book thing. I need to sit down at the piano and write this. And it was super cathartic. And there was a couple of moments in there where, I did actually just sit down at the piano and play for fun and not record it and not write anything. But it was all book for that year or so. Wow. Yeah. You didn't lose a step from the videos I've seen so far. And we're going to have you this weekend here at the Adjacent Festival. Yes. Also, end of your summer. I guess it's is it October? October, yeah. You know where I'm going with this. Yeah, we got Las Vegas, getting the boys back together. Yeah, something corporate, dude. Yeah. Everybody is pumped about this. How are you feeling about this? Josh is excited. Josh is in. Oh yeah, good. Yes. I like that. Yeah, for me, I'm super excited. You know, I did like a 40th birthday show at the end of the tour that Dashboard and I did last summer, and kind of called all the Something Corporate guys because they're all fairly local to where we were playing in Orange County, and I said like, what would you say about just coming up surprise? We'll do like 6 songs together, not tell anybody. And it was magic. Yeah. You know, I mean, I really like, it felt like, in a way, we had all this perspective, and so it was just joy. It was just like, wow, we did this, and it was so nice to revisit it. And so we were like, let's try and do it again.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's so cool. And how is your daughter?
She's great.
How is she now? Almost 10 years old.
Oh God, I mean, you're telling me, man.
How did this happen? I talked to you before you wrote that song, and she wasn't even born yet. And now, holy crap, you got a 10-year-old.
Yeah, she's amazing. I mean, she's a little artist herself. She's very she just did Matilda this weekend, and she's like super into musical theater. They're coming when we're doing Bonnaroo in a couple of weeks, and like she loves Sylvan Esso, so we're going in early so that we can like rage to Sylvan Esso.
I love that.
She's an amazing, very sweet kid, and I'm very lucky.
You got a lucky little girl there, a great little girl, and you're a lucky man.
I'm a lucky dad.
You're a lucky dad for sure. Andrew, last thing I'm going to ask you, because I know you got to get going and do your rock star thing and everything. Did you bring your surfboard? We got actually some pretty good waves out here. If you catch a good morning in Atlantic City, good waves.
I got stood up. I actually my old merch guy who lives in Asbury, told me we were going to go surfing, and I got him passes, and he bailed on me. So I would love to actually get out. And it looked like there were a couple of waves out there this morning when I did a little surf check.
Yeah, you go out there, you can catch some good waves early. You can do that for sure.
Yeah, you can wait. Is it not so windy in the morning, I assume?
Yeah. You get out there. Well, everyone, the new album, Tilt at the Wind No More. I love that title.
I like the way you say it. I like it better than the way you say it.
Yes, it's very regal. It's the Andrew fun we have, but also we're looking back on life too and looking ahead. So everyone needs to check that out, and something corporate. And I'm sure there's going to be 80 zillion videos on socials when that happens in October. I'm not going to ask you the question, but perhaps can I speculate?
I don't know. You go.
Will there be more after that? Everyone wants more.
Right now, there's one scheduled that I can't announce yet, and then I think there's also going to be on that weekend in Vegas. I think there's going to be a show the night ahead of the festival.
Okay.
Too. Yeah.
But more follow. We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think now that the door is kind of cracked open and we're going to have done the practice and kind of brushed up our chops and gotten together, I'd say it's much more likely that there will be another show or two. Touring is hard when you have 5 guys that, all have totally different careers and kids and 2 of them are like lawyers. You can't just be like, I'm going to go on tour for a month. And,
sorry, judge. Case dismissed.
But I think we're all excited about the prospect of making a show happen on the East Coast, where we had so much of our following was out of the Northeast. So I'd imagine that at some point we'll get up and do some more.
All right. Well, we'll see. I bet it's going to happen. Well, guys, Andrew McMahon, fine wine, baby, fine wine, right here at the Adjacent Music Festival.